Hello and welcome to Auto Arcadia. I'm one of your hosts, Colin Wood, and with me is
Thomas Hope. Hi.
How you doing, Tom?
Yeah, I'm pretty good actually. Yeah, I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. It's been a funny old week so far, but eyes on the prize. Home time's nearly there. Friday is only 2 days away, so aye.
Joe, this week has flown past. Absolutely flown past for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just completely has. But that's not important right now. What are we going to talk about today?
So a little bit about the new Renault.
I do, yes.
Yeah, I think we need to have a little chat about where things are heading and the electric cars and people bringing cars back that should really stay dead because they don't deserve the torture that they're putting the names through now.
We are kind of in that reviving dead models era of the car industry.
Yeah.
I mean, we recently lost the Fiesta and we very recently lost the Focus, I think. They're no longer making those.
Yeah. I mean, the death of the Fiesta is not a bad thing. It means no more fucking STs. But, yeah. I mean, because the Mondeo's not long dead as well.
I completely forgot about the Mondeo, yeah. I mean, Ford killing essentially their entire lineup from when we were kids.
Yeah, and bringing back the entire lineup from when our parents were kids.
Absolutely, yeah.
And just brutally murdering them with a claw hammer. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Took some of their more iconic names, and they've done not good things with them, in my opinion. I mean, I would ask the question, have you actually seen a Mach-E on the roads?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know...
What spec was yours?
What spec?
Yeah, was it like a high-spec model?
Honestly, I don't know. It had big wheels and tiny brakes, which to me tells me it's shite. But yeah.
The one I saw was a properly base spec one, and it looked exactly like every other kind of bland mid-sized SUV. There was nothing really distinguishable about it.
Yeah, I get that.
And for what is like a really iconic special name. I know it's like the Mach-E, but it's still a Mustang Mach-E.
Yeah, like the Mac was a properly like it was a proper Mustang. There was no getting away from it. Yeah, like legendary name. And you know the thing with that got me was they'd done such a good job with the new Mustang, like the actual Mustang.
Absolutely, yeah. I totally agree.
Well, I say they did a good job. You can buy it with a 4-cylinder.
You can buy it with an EcoBoost.
Yeah. No. EcoBoom, correct name. So yeah, like I don't know.
I would never buy a Mustang with a 4-cylinder engine. I know that could seem as prehistoric, but why would you buy a Mustang if you're not getting at least the V8? It's really the only one I think that I would get for a Mustang.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Do you know old school Top Gear had the boards and they had like the cool wall, right?
Yeah.
If we ever transition into like a visual format alongside the podcast, we need a wall, and it has to one side's going to be cool as fuck, and the other side's just going to be absolute deviance.
I think we should have another category for just product, where we literally don't have strong feelings about it because it's just a product and we're not going to consider it.
Yeah, right in the middle. So you've got cool as fuck, product in the middle, and then driven exclusively by deviants and perverts at the end. And that is where the fucking Mustang Mach-E is going to go.
I won't have you disrespecting my fellow deviants and perverts, man. Like that's not right. Like.
Yeah, but like they're not deviants and perverts you want to be a part of. When they drive
the wrong kind.
They're the wrong kind of deviants and perverts.
Fair. Yeah, no, like I agree. They're really disappointing. They're so disappointing, actually. And so's the Capri. Like the Capri. What the Ford styling is not great at the moment.
No, it's not. Like the thing is as well. Like I've seen, as is the way with so many things now. It was like just somebody taking the piss with an AI render, but it was like, oh, they're bringing the Capri back, and I was like, that looks incredible. And it was like, you know, the Mark III, how it was kind of boxy but also kind of swoopy at the same time. Well, it looked a bit like that, but just modernized, and it had. We'll get back onto this later, but that cyberpunky style to it, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. I do you know what? I like the way the Mark III looks.
Yeah, they look cool.
They do. Honestly, do you know what? That actually might be one of my favorite look of the Capri. It's definitely the Capri that I think of when I think of it in my mind, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, like I don't think of the Mark One or the Mark Two. I go straight to the Mark Three, but that's because we're '90s kids, I suppose.
Yeah, I know there was way more kicking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like you see, like this render, and it was like, oh, that looks incredible, and then the actual Ford Capri release image came out, and I was like, that reminds me of the shape that a dog's back makes when it's pooing, and I was like, that was it.
I just think they forgot to style it. It looks like a placeholder model in racing games, if you know what I mean, like car not found.
Yes, and you've just got the silhouette.
Yeah, like it looks like it's a Unity asset.
It does. Like, and it's like how. See, I think this is why they might be getting rid of like the Focus and the Fiesta and everything. I think that they're kind of aware that they're going to have like a clean start, because you'll have guys whose like first car was a Mark II Escort, for example, and then they'll went and bought like a Capri, and then they'll have maybe got a Granada when they were like looking at a family and stuff. And then as the times went on, they've like bought Mondeos and Focuses and stuff. And now they're seeing all these cars from their youth being brought back, and they're just being fucking butchered. That's maybe why they've just done away with everything, because they're like, oh, we'll just have to refresh our whole range because we employed some fucking idiot designer that's just ruined everything.
Redefine their brand, much like Jaguar are doing.
Yeah,
I think what bothers me is that the Capri and the Mustang were both quite, if not necessarily super sporty cars, they were at least like, they were coupes. They were like cruisers, and both the Mach-E and the Capri are just cars.
Yeah, they're the worst kind of cars as well. They're just white goods.
Yep.
It's utterly depressing and horrible and disgusting and just so minging.
But it's not all doom and gloom, because there are other manufacturers doing it properly.
Like who?
I think you know who. Like your good friends at Toyota.
Oh yes, I happen to be a bit of a fucking fanboy for Toyota.
Yeah, I might let you take the lead on this because I know how much you love Toyota.
So I'm gonna start with like the FT1 concept, which eventually, as everyone knows, turned into the new Supra, right? And like how everyone was so excited for it, and then it's just a BMW, it's just a Z4. Memes came out, and everyone was like, and I was a bit disappointed in it, man. Especially like after you had like the Lexus LFA, the RCF, the ISF, the GSF, all these cool. And I mean, I know it's Lexus, but it's the same fucking company, you know.
The LFA is a very striking looking car. I think I like it.
Yeah, I love it. Like if I came into £2 million tomorrow, I would buy an LFA. Like fuck paying off my mortgage. I just want my dream car.
That V10.
Yeah, that V10. Oh, it's fucking sexual.
I could definitely enjoy one of those.
Yeah, like just amazing. So like they had this really cool period, and then the Supra came out, and everyone was like, "Ah, really? Like we wanted a free JZ engine. We wanted Toyota back on top. Like we wanted the return to like when we had JZX 100 chasers, Mark IIs, Mark X's, Toyota Centuries, the big V12 presidential limo. We wanted like Supras and Soarers and MR2s and the Celicas. We wanted a return to that absolute powerhouse that was, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of never came with the Supra, which is a shame because it's an iconic nameplate. Like they have to, if what we're about to talk about here takes off, like I think they'll take off, especially off the back of the next one I'm going to bring up, I think we might see a new like 100% Toyota Supra, like 100% made by Toyota Supra. So
that
like
would be cool. That would be cool. One thing I will say is I do think the Supra is the better looking of the two.
Oh
like,
yeah,
by miles. Like I actually think Toyota do quite well in the styling department.
Oh yeah, man. Like the new Z4 is fugly.
Yes, it is. Yeah, BMWs do take a little bit of time to age into their styling, but I think Toyota have got it right from the start with a good design.
Oh yeah, like there's a yellow Supra kicking about locally, and it's properly chef's kiss. Like it's you see it and it's just like, oh, there's something about that. It just hits so right, and it's like, yes, man, we need more of that.
That's funny. I'm looking at a picture of a yellow Supra online, and I'm like, yeah, this is a really nice looking car. I would definitely have it in yellow, 100%.
Oh yeah, like that's the color that's being ordered in, isn't it? Maybe an
Absolutely,
orange,
yeah.
if not yellow, maybe an orange or possibly a purple, but yellow's top and front and center of the list.
Do you know what? I really hate to completely agree with you, but I do completely agree. I think that's probably the color. I would maybe like a blue.
Yeah, I could see that. I do like the red that they come in though, just because like Toyota Super 2, it's Super Red 2 is such an iconic Toyota color.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, I mean the red ones are faster as well, which is just a fact. Like if you have a red car, it's faster than a blue car. You know, it's just how the world works.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm not going to argue with that one today. It's not. That's not the point of the conversation. So yeah, please continue. So we have the what's coming out with Toyota beyond the Supra.
Yeah, so you had the Supra, and then the big one came out, the Yaris GR.
Oh, do you know? I totally forgot about the Yaris GR. That's like really cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like it's honestly probably one of the best drivers' cars on sale at the moment.
I'd have one of them in a heartbeat as well.
I would like if I came into serious money and all I could buy was Toyota, I could genuinely build myself a pretty good stable of cars that would match everything I ever need them to do just from one mark, which is amazing.
Honestly, if you could include Lexus in that, I would say that you could easily do everything you ever needed to do with just Toyota and Lexus.
Oh yeah,
I
easily.
think I actually might be a Toyota fan as well. Like the more I think about it, the more I realize, God, I actually do really like Toyotas.
Do you know what we need to do? We need to get you limiter bashing in a car with a Jay-Z engine, and you'll love it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, I'm 100% on board for that.
So yeah, that's kind of like what set the scene here, right? So the Yaris GR, it came out, everyone and their mother loves it. Like it's a Yaris, it's cool as fuck. It's got four-wheel drive, it's got a 1.6 liter three cylinder, properly motorsport derived engine, which is what all the good Toyota engines have been like. Like anything good Toyota engine wise has been motorsport derived.
So has that been from the World Rally Championship?
Well, it was Gazoo Racing that came up with the engine and then developed it in part with Toyota. And then Toyota were like, "This is fuck it, this balls. Like we're gonna make a car with this, pretty much."
Nice, fair
I
choice.
think it initially was a homologation special because they're now campaigning. Gazoo Racing are campaigning with a Yaris rally car. And
Yeah,
then there was the Corolla GR, which was an American only one, which saddens me deeply because it would be front and center of my list for family cars if we got them in the UK. But an American import that's left-hand drive just sounds horrible. But anyway,
yeah,
that then brings us to the two that have been released somewhat recently. So there's the new Toyota MR2 concept
yep.
with the 1.6 turbo engine. And
That's one that really appeals to me because I have a bit of history with MR2s, but I also think it looks fantastic. I love small cars, and that ticks a lot of boxes.
oh yeah, like the design is jaw dropping. Like it's just so like whoever's designing Toyotas, they're doing it right. Like the Yaris GR, the Corolla GR, the Supra, the 86, and now the GR 86, they all look fantastic. And even if
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Actually, I think Toyota are really doing well.
yeah, even
Do you
if
know what
you
the MR2 concept reminds me of? Is it reminds me a lot in the way it's kind of proportioned as the Alfa Romeo 4C. It's just more
Ooh.
angular.
Yeah, man. I agree on the 4C comment totally.
Yeah, it just looks a little bit more aggressive, but just a little bit more kind of Toyota, which I'm not against at all. But I really like those proportions. I really like small kind of little coupes.
Yeah, definitely as a design language, it's nice. Like Jaguar certainly could learn a thing or two, as could Ford.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be passing some notes on to Ford. At least Jaguar have like attempted a design where Ford have just forgotten.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Jaguar one at all. But as you say, it's 1,000% better than what Ford did. And the last one for the Toyota, anyway, the new Celica.
The new Celica.
Oh, mate, that's a thing of beauty. It's a properly badass looking concept, and this is a bit different as well because this isn't going with the 1.6 litre turbo engine
Right?
and the 3-cylinder. So apparently they're going to be manufacturing a 4-cylinder 2-litre turbo.
Okay.
And this fills me with absolute glee for one specific reason. And that is you've got Yaris GRs with this 1.6 3-cylinder making like 700 brake horse. What the fuck is the 2-litre 4-cylinder going to be like?
Yeah, they can make big power now.
Yeah, like this could. I mean, and the thing is as well. Realistically, we don't actually have an Impreza anymore. We don't really have a Mitsubishi Evo anymore. Although I did hear a whisper about that coming back. The
Really?
only thing, yeah, literally the only competitor this has is the CLA 45 Saloon, and that's about it. I don't know of any other like direct competitors to that.
So is the new Celica going to be a saloon?
No, it's got to be a coupe.
Is it? Because I'm looking at a two-door coupe here with like a kind of a very Toyota-esque front end.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at as well. On the
I mean, I really like that. I think it looks fantastic. If that's how it turns out to look, yes, please.
Oh yeah, that's going to be beautiful, amazing. And one thing I'm finding right is Cyberpunk 2077. I know you've played it because I've asked you this. The styling of the cars in that is becoming it's almost as if when the game came out, a lot of designers saw it and they were like, "Oh, I like that. I need to implement some of that in the real world."
Yeah, the cyberpunk aesthetic is like it's really quite prevalent now. It's popular.
Yeah, like, and the thing is, it just works. Like, it's so well proportioned, and it's manages to be aggressive and subtle at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Some of the cars in that game were not subtle at all. Which kind of brings me to another new car. Well, it's not new actually, because this is quite old news. But on the kind of cyberpunk look, the Hyundai, what was it called?
Oh, the Project 74 or something like that.
That's the one. It was like all in silver and had like this
Vision 74, sorry.
Yes, because it's like the concept was in silver and it had this absolutely amazing look that was like retro and futuristic all at the same time. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
When I looked at it, I was like, that is just pure Group B rally madness. But somehow it's like a rally car from the future.
It made me really think of 80s kind of coupes. Honestly, a little bit like the Mark III Capri in some ways.
Yeah, man. I mean, wow, that's a bombshell. Like, Hyundai is doing the Capri better than Ford.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is a little bit of a mismatch, isn't it?
It really is. But, like, it's such an exciting place that car design's going, you know? Like, like, it's hard not to be excited.
Do you know what? You're right. You're being very positive, and I like it. There are actually a lot of exciting car designs coming out.
Yeah. You also, why was there surprise in your voice when you said you're being really positive?
Do you know what? I genuinely did not expect you to say that there were exciting and good things on the horizon in the car design space. Because, like, I thought, you would kind of like be like, pretty much everything's tending towards being like a kind of crossover SUV sort of thing. They all just look pretty much the same. They're quite bland. I thought you would be kind of like, it's all going to shit. So yeah, do you know what? I was a bit surprised, but like, I'm really glad. I did not think about it from this perspective, and I like the perspective a lot better. There is interesting stuff out there.
Oh yeah, and I mean, like, and the other thing is as well, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there that just looks terrible though. Like, and I know we keep saying this about BMW style and how it has to mature and it takes time to get to where it's going. But like the new M3 is fucking horrible looking.
The new M3.
Yeah, like the estate.
This one.
So they look. I mean, I've seen one in like that. It's like BMW Java Green and it was an estate as well. It was actually like the spec I would probably purchase if I was going to buy one. And
Oh, I've seen the picture. Yeah.
like I would never buy it because I cannot imagine having something that fucking ugly on my driveway. But even in that gorgeous shade of green, it doesn't work. Like it's just the front end's too gaudy.
It does seem a little heavy on the front end.
It's
It's got like quite a big snoot.
Yeah, that's it. Like I call them the cocaine addict cars because they had like when you look at old BMWs and they had the kidney grills and it was like two nostrils and they've just been getting progressively bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's like that guy that you saw in the pub when you were 18 all the time who had a really red face and his eyes looked like piss holes in the snow. And then you see him when you're actually 30 and you're like, I remember when you had two normal sized nostrils and now it's just one big one. It's like you've blown all the cartilage out your nose. Like that's all it puts me in mind of.
I mean, yeah, I could totally see that. Do you know what? I'm looking at a picture here, and I think possibly if they'd brought down the top of the kidney grills by like, I don't know, a couple of inches to more kind of keep it in line with the swoop of the rest of the body, maybe a small bulge, it would look a lot better.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's not far away. It just needs something done with the size of its nose. Like,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Just needs a
mental.
little bit, a quick fix.
Yeah, that's it. Like, and I mean, it's annoying as well because, like, see, like the F80 and the last of the E-body BMWs looked gorgeous, and then the F80, like the M3 and the M4 came out, and they looked stunning. Like LCI or pre-LCI, it doesn't matter. They look class. And then they brought this G body out, and it's just like, ugh, why? You were on such a home run.
Yes, the big grill is a bold change, but I don't know if I'm here for it.
I'm not. But then in like 5 years' time, we're probably got to be going, oh, that looks banging, like, because it's aged then.
Honestly, yeah, like there's definitely a lot of BMWs that I have kind of against my own will. Like I've been annoyed while I do it, but I'm gradually appreciating the way they look more and more and been like, yeah, actually that's like a really nice looking car.
Oh yeah. Like the 2 Series, for example. I would not buy a new 2 Series. They're just too much. But the
Oh
shape,
yeah, the 2 is like a fucking. It's very boxy. Well, the
yeah.
2 Series sedan I drove was very boxy.
And then you've got the shape you own, which is above even like the F80.
Oh yeah,
3
the
Series.
coupe.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually have some stuff to say about that generation of 2 Series because I've driven the whatever they call just like the 4-door kind of normal car version of it, and I've also driven the coupe
Yeah.
of that version. And like to get out of the way, first of all, the 4-door was I think it was a 2, like so it was a 220. It was at least petrol. It was an automatic, and it had the M Sport package, but it was plagued with stop start and like a very, an automatic gearbox, which I'm not like a massive fan of in general. But the stop start was the most egregious thing. It was like so bad. Stop start compared with an automatic gearbox can get to actual fuck, in my opinion. I'm gonna die on this hill. I don't care what people say. You get this delay when you push the pedal down from stop start. Then you get the fucking delay when you push the pedal down from the automatic gearbox, and it's time. There's a huge amount of time there where the car just doesn't respond. Whereas with a manual, it's quite quick. You just you fire it into gear in one motion and you get away. You don't put your foot down and then have a noticeable delay when the car works out that it should start itself up.
Go.
So you have to wait for the car to like turn itself on and then to decide to get into gear and go. And like I know automatic gearboxes are very, very fast, faster than manuals, but fucking stop-start technology is so annoying. And like, being in a fucking loan car, I don't want to have to go in and faff about with all this nonsense to like turn it off. I'm only realistically going to be driving it for like 10 to 15 minutes at most, getting there and back from the garage and stuff like that. So like it's not something that I'm like going to go and like deliberately turn off every time I like drive it for 5 minutes. But fucking hell, for those 5 minutes that I drive it, that will piss me off so much. Like every piece of stop start traffic. Like I refuse to allow my car to do any stop start. It has been coded out. It was the first thing that I did. Like I want none of that. I'm tired of even having to push the button constantly on and off. So yeah, that experience of the 4-door, which I think is called the Grand Coupe, was like not the best. It was also, just a 1.5 or a 1.8 engine, and it was like slow as fuck. It was unresponsive. I mean, like the pedal in both of the 2 series I've tried have been very, very light, and like it makes you feel like you can accelerate quickly, but then it was not matched by any material increase in performance.
Yes.
And you could watch the car fire through gears because it's geared very, very close, very close. I mean, like it was wanting to potter around town in like 5th or 6th.
Right.
At 30, like really, really high gears for fuel efficiency. But again, that's annoying as fuck as well, because then when you do actually have to quickly, immediately react to something, there's just nothing there. The gearbox is like, oh, I'll shift down a few gears for you. And you're like, well, you're fucking going to have to shift down quite a few because I actually need some performance here.
Yes. That's a big
yes.
car for a tiny little engine like that as well.
Aye, absolutely. And then the coupe was, admittedly, I thought the coupe looked slightly better than the 2-door coupe than the Grand Sport, but it was plagued with the same issue. It was an automatic. It was again probably a similar, I think, the same engine, and it looked marginally better, but it wasn't a driver's car in my opinion. Absolutely not. And it wasn't particularly good around town because I hate stop start. It makes me very angry. So yeah, my review of that generation of 2 series is thumbs down. No.
That's fair. You're kind of proving the point that we've made as well, which is like BMW don't really make a good car unless it has a 6-cylinder engine in it. Like that's where the fucking benchmark for what a BMW is begins for me. Like without a straight 6, no, it's not. It's just an inconvenience.
I totally don't disagree, but I think even with a straight 6, if it had stop start that I didn't actually turn off and an automatic gearbox, I would have still been as angry. Like I really do. And I asked the dealership when I sent the car there, because I was like, oh, I'm going to a fucking dealership. It's gonna cost. I want I want a courtesy car, and I want like a kind of a nicer one, if you know what I mean. And I was like, can I at least anything? Can I get it in a manual? And they were like, we don't have any manual courtesy cars. They're all automatics. And that's a dark fucking moment, honestly, for me.
Yeah.
I know it's such a small petty thing, but I just wanted to be able to drive a manual. I feel comfortable in a manual. I like a manual. I just want a bit of fucking control over driving because I actually still, despite the fact I'm quite angry at the moment, enjoy driving.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
That was my rant.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it makes a change for you to be the one ranting. Like, usually it's like somebody's made a mention to a fucking Audi, and I'm like, fuck Bugatti, fuck the fucking Volkswagen Audi group, this, that, and the next thing. And it's like, come on, man, not again.
I'm going to make you feel even better. That's not even my only rant of this evening. I've got another one in the bank.
What's coming?
Well, we'll get to it when we get to it.
Fair enough, dude. Well, yeah, like, so, like, to kind of go back a bit, like, I'm really excited about certain aspects of new cars. Like, the one we haven't talked about is the Lexus. I mean, this is bittersweet because it's the replacement for, like, my ultimate dream car. Like, if I had £2 million, I would just buy this. I wouldn't pay my mortgage off. I wouldn't pay any debts off. I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm buying an LFA.
Yeah, what a car.
Like that V10, it's fucking sexual. That's it. Can't say it. That's it. Like, there's no disagreeing. Like, the LFA, if you don't like the noise that car makes, yeah, there's something wrong with you.
You got problems.
And this is why the one that I'm about to say is so fucking bittersweet, because Lexus have came out with a concept for a replacement of the LFA. It's fully electric.
Okay, yeah, I can see why that is a bit of a disappointment.
So, if you know the gentleman at Lexus who made this decision, I implore you to beat him to death with a shitty stick. Because
it seems extreme. It seems very extreme.
Well, I mean, he's done quite an extreme thing. He's taken quite possibly one of the best cars of the 2010s, because the 2010s was pretty dire. Well, actually, not for supercars. I mean, you had cool stuff like the Gumpert Apollo and all that. But yeah, like Lexus LFA was a high point, you know?
Yeah, it was. Was that not quite early though? Was that not like 2010?
Yeah, man, it wasn't like super late. Like it was pretty early on. And you know the thing about the LFA, right? There's so much about the LFA that's amazing. Like Toyota, this is why I love Toyota, right? The standard of engineering that they have is just out of this world. So they went looking for carbon fiber to like create the tub and all the bodywork and everything. And they couldn't find anything that they thought was of a high enough quality. So do you know what they did? They
They made
built
their own.
Yeah, they built their own carbon fiber factory, and literally for one car, and they lost millions on each car. Like it was a total financial disaster. But it's what happens when you just go engineering department, make me the ultimate of this, and they're like, no problem, we've got you.
Yeah, I can't fault them on that. I did just suddenly remember that I have one beef with Toyota.
What's that?
Fucking lean.
Lean?
Lean
Oh, yeah.
thinking. Lean manufacturing. Lean.
Yeah.
I am very tired of lean.
I also am very tired of lean because I have to go through it every day at work. Also, the health and safety culture that they have is mental. Although I kind of have to say it does work when they do it, at least.
I mean, I can see the appeal of like good health and safety. You don't want to be injured or die at work.
Yeah, but there's part of me thinks that if we keep providing safety for the idiots are going to overtake us all. You know, we're not we're not having wars anymore. Well, I mean, I don't know. We
That
might be
is
having one soon.
definitely not true.
But like, we're not having like wars where all the fickos get sent to be cannon fodder. You know, like what can you do? Can you sign your own name? Yes. What's 2 + 2? 10. Cool. You're an infantryman. Like,
I'm not sure this is. I'm not. I don't agree with this. This is
like,
not the way to represent.
okay, maybe I'm being a bit.
I think what you might be describing is what is kind of leaning into fascism.
Yeah, it might be. But I mean, anyway, right. A better analogy here for you, right? When I was in the trade many, 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 many moons ago, there was a safety bulletin came out at a very well-known high street in quotes garage chain. It was Quick Fit. And what happened was they employed a mechanic, and then the mechanic had the bonnet of the car up, and the car was running. And there, obviously, if you know what underneath a bonnet looks like, there's an auxiliary belt system, which is a belt drive that drives like your alternator and all that pish. All your engine accessories in quotes are driven by this auxiliary belt. So what this guy does is he looks at this pulley that's spinning at probably about 1800 RPM, given it's half the size of a crank pulley at idle. And what he does is sticks his finger into it, like, and then literally turns around and goes, I don't have a finger anymore. And it's like, well done. And off the back of that, what QuickFit did was they put out a safety bulletin company wide that said, nobody is allowed to work on a car with the bonnet open.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if the car's running, you're not allowed to have the bonnet open. It's like, how do you check batteries? How do you check alternators? Like, how do you diagnose that there's, like, the customer comes in and says, when my car's at idle, there's this horrific squeaking noise. How do you diagnose that it's an idler pulley? How do you know what idler pulley it is? Like, how are you supposed to do your job? Like, the fact is, like, health and safety's went too far because it actually stops people from doing what they need to do. Like, there's an acceptable level of risk with every activity, you know? And
Yeah. I mean, speaking as someone who's done their fair share of risk assessments and stuff like that, like, I get how sometimes, like, it's the process. It just feels like you're just going through the motions sometimes.
yeah. And the annoying thing is, it would be so easy to fix. You're not allowed to do anything about health and safety regarding a job unless you're trained in health and safety and you have all the experience and knowledge to be able to do the job that you're actually trying to make safe.
Oh no, I do. I completely agree with that. I think that's the ideal world, is the people devising the health and safety would actually have some practical experience and knowledge of the job. Totally, because there's it's frustrating getting message upon from up high that says you can't do this role critical thing anymore. And then if you ask them for like a mitigation strategy, they're like, "Oh, we have no idea. You come up with it."
Yeah, and it's like,
Well, my mitigation strategy would be to not follow the health and safety protocol, because that allows me to just continue doing my job as I was.
yeah, but then if you say that, it's like, oh no, neck beards and that roll up, no, we can't do that. It's like, fuck off.
It
But
can be
yeah,
quite stressful and annoying. Yes, I totally agree. I totally
I,
agree.
which causes me to rebel against everything and just be like, remove all the warning stickers, let the idiots take care of themselves, and let's make the gene pool a little bit shallower. You know. Anyway, sorry, rant over.
It's good that we both got a rant in.
It is. It's, now we're in competition. Oh man, where the fuck were we? Yeah, Lexus. Aye, so fully electric replacement to the LF8. And I'm conflicted, Tom, because this thing looks gorgeous, but it'll never have an explosion box in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, that's not quite true because it's a Toyota. So someone somewhere in the world will buy one and swap a 2J into it.
Yeah. I mean, how difficult is it to convert an electric car to ICE?
Well, there's a guy who bought a Tesla, crash damaged, and put a V8 in it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So I mean, you know what? I'm not massively well versed on electric cars, right? But one of the issues I think you'll have when making them rear wheel drive, and it's not really an issue because you just take an angle grinder to it and build your own transmission tunnel. But with a lot of the packaging, like a lot of them have flat floors and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the general infrastructure and shape of the body probably isn't all that conducive to putting an engine in. So if you're handy with a welder and handy with an angle grinder, I reckon you'll do it no problem. But if you don't have some fabrication skills, I reckon it's probably got to be difficult.
Yeah, because you're right, they're all flat floors, and do they not load all of the battery packs on the floor as well to keep the weight as low as possible? So there'll be like a kind of almost a cavity.
Yes. Well, I think what will actually happen is the batteries will be bolted onto the floor, so that the floor of the car is actually a false floor and the batteries underneath it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, no, it's like it'll definitely happen. I can't wait for everyone to find out that electric cars just aren't going to fucking work, and then we're left with all these cars that cost pennies to buy because they've depreciated like rocks, and then everyone just starts sticking ridiculous engines in them. It's got to be great fun.
Yeah, I saw an advert at some point today. I can't remember where. There was if it was a Fisker. Remember that electric car company that went under after the that hurricane in New York years and years and years ago, and there was basically their entire production on a boat in the harbor, and it all got wasted.
Yes,
Or maybe it wasn't on a boat, maybe it was out on the docks. But yeah, it just got absolutely trashed.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah, because they were a very early electric car. I think I saw an advert for one in the UK.
Ah,
And
sorry,
it
I'm
heavily
getting.
depreciated.
When I said that's unfortunate, that it may have sounded sarcastic, but I was being genuine, and that was because I confused Fisker with Spiker.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't
So
Spike.
no, it's not unfortunate that all the electric cars are washed into the ocean. It's just fortune being fortunate. So it is, yeah.
Fair,
I'm,
but
I'm,
yeah,
go- I'm going with that.
the car had like that was like a big money car when it was first on the road, and now it's basically a total liability. The company doesn't exist. It's an electric car. The company doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That seems like quite difficult to repair.
Yeah, I mean, spare parts are going to be a struggle. Like,
Yeah, totally. I think you can't just run that down the road to like Bob and Son to go and have like get it fixed.
oh no, definitely not. That's going to be a specialized job.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I was they really really do depreciate quite rapidly, the electric cars. There's a lot of the electric cars that were kind of the first wave of, like subsidise and salary sacrifice kind of like executive stuff, like the Audi e-tron and like the Porsche Taycan or something like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like they're really, really down on what they were. They depreciate like fucking stones.
Yeah, I mean, it's because nobody wants to deal with the batteries, Like,
I think that might be a big part of it. There's also the part of it where like they're developing quite quickly, so even relatively young old ones are quite outdated.
Yeah, which actually, that's just made a thought occur to me. And you know how the average car buyer is more concerned about depreciation and resale than they are about like having a nice color or anything.
Yeah, by and large, yeah.
So it makes me wonder how much life there is in the electric car market when that buyer, let's be honest here, that buyer is the main consumer of new cars, right? It makes me wonder what they're going to do when I don't think it's going to happen, but hypothetically, everything has to be fully electric, right? And they realise that they're suddenly now just buying a £60,000 iPhone, for example, and it's going to be outdated within a year or two, and it's going to depreciate like modern tech does.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. Modern tech depreciates like fuck. And also, what happens, like your phone, right? What happens when they stop supporting your car? Like its operating system, all of its nonsense.
This is it, exactly. Because this is maybe me being very cynical, but I don't, you know how like Apple got caught slowing old iPhones down?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do not trust car manufacturers at all. Like they would fucking love to have a product that degraded over time.
Yeah. Like, do you know, I've said it before with a lot of different things in the past, and it's the phrase, it's the thin end of the wedge, you know?
Oh, a classic phrase, yes.
And honestly, I don't think people know just how dangerous the road they're going down is here. Because, like, I'm not even technically, electric cars have been around since like the 1910s. You know, they just weren't
Yep.
all that great because energy density of batteries is crap, especially back then. And I mean, it's not even that great now. Like, who wants to have to recharge for 45 minutes every 200 miles? That's bollocks, Ken. But yeah, like when we get to the point where we're literally just driving around in a computer, we're gonna hit a point where it's like they know how fast you're going, they know where you're going, they know where you've been. Like the amount of like, and you're not gonna be able to turn it off like you can your phone. Like you're not gonna be able to go into your phone, into your settings in your car and just swipe down and go turn GPS off, turn Wi-Fi off, put airplane mode on, signal, totally black out my phone. You're not going to be able to do that because everything in your car is going to be proprietary. You're not going to have access to the code. It's going to be, it's honestly, it's not a good thing. Like,
No, I agree. It's like it's manufacturers locking down the product as far as possible, and it's also them trying to charge with charge what they can get away with. It's like the Ryanairification, to coin a horrible word, of cars, where like literally everything becomes this extra that has to be paid for.
Oh yeah,
Because
and
when your product's software, you just unlock it.
Yeah, well, that's it. But this is the thing, right? Because car manufacturers are doing this now, right? So, like, when a lot of cars come out, they're like, oh, we can't give remaps for this because we haven't cracked the ECU. We haven't cracked the coding. We can't change it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But see, when you do away with the internal combustion engine, right? You're doing away with the multi-billion pound industry of modifying them and remapping them and tuning, right? And when you do away with that, and there's suddenly not multi-billion pound level of like enthusiasm and reason to start cracking all this software, you're fucked. Like at the minute, ECUs are jailbroken because people can get paid money. But here's the thing: you're not going to be able to just remap in the future. You're going to need an electrical engineering degree to do this. Otherwise, you're just going to melt batteries and you're going to fucking destroy motors and everything else. Like, it doesn't work. So suddenly you've lost the thing that drives competition like that.
Yeah, that's a little bit sad. because it'll just be the manufacturer will probably just, offer from factory. Would you like the normal or the sport or the super sport, and just like, give you more power from the motors.
Precisely. So now, like, you're not going to have the option of like, I don't want the 340i. I'm going to buy the 335i, and then I'll just remap it to make it almost as fast as an M3 in a straight line. So not only have you saved yourself a fair chunk of change buying a new car that's lesser down, because realistically all the brakes and everything are going to be identical because there's only 30-40 brake between them in real life, but now you've got a car that was cheaper than a 340i brand new, but it was brand new as well, and it's now more powerful than a 340i because you remapped it. But then you lose that, and it's like it just plays into the OEMs,
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good thing.
No, I agree. I want the car to be as open as possible. Like, I want it to just no extra charges. Like, they've been trying to get away with this bullshit for years. Like, sat nav in a certain year, and then you don't get any updates. So who do you have to go to? The fucking manufacturer. You have to pay them to update your sat nav.
Yeah.
Google Maps is updated and free.
Yeah, that's it.
And I bought a car from you, and yet I have to go back and pay you to update the sat nav.
And it's not cheap either. It's like,
no, it's not cheap either. Yeah.
A legitimate amount of money. Like, it's a percentage of your monthly wage. That's the way to look at it. And it's not a small percentage. Well, it's not a big percentage either, but
I just can't believe it's not free.
Yeah, especially when Google Maps usually does it better. Like, see the TomTom sat nav in a Renault. Oh my god, that's hideous. Like, why Renault? Why did you do that? Fucking no, just use Google Maps.
Yeah. Sorry, other sat navs, but Google kind of won.
Yeah, although I do have to give a shout out to Garmin, because Garmin are the absolute daddies of sat navs, or they were until Google became ubiquitous. But in the sat nav battle early on, Garmin was the way to go. Like,
could it actually get you places?
Yeah, well, it was weird, right? Oh, we're going off on a tangent again. So, like, TomTom became the big name in sat nav, but like Garmin were actually doing it first, better, and for longer, because Garmin started off doing like boat sat nav and like proper nautical and aeronautical systems, like the sort of thing where like 600 lives literally depend on the sat nav in your airplane working correctly.
Yeah. I did know that Garmin were like well established before they went into like kind of like sat navs, like handheld sat navs.
Yeah, like they were really well established, and now
Did
that
they do satellite phones?
I believe they did. I think they did anyway.
Maybe that's a false memory implanted. I'll check.
It might be. I don't know. And then when the sat nav thing died down, because all cars have sat navs in them, they moved into wearable tech. And like, I've got a Garmin watch, and it's one of the best watches I've ever had. It's like got 14-day battery life.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I know, that's ridiculous. That's one of the crap ones as well. Because I got the Epics too, right? But see if you get like the Fenix 7, or it might be the Fenix 8 now. You can get one that's got a slightly dimmer screen. Instead of like OLED, it's like a matrix screen.
Mm-hmm.
And round the edges of it, it has a solar panel. So you can get like 40 days battery out of it.
That's
like,
insane.
It's crazy. And that's like with features turned on. If you turn everything off and put it in battery saving mode, it's something like fucking 4 months you get out of it.
Cool. Yeah, no, that sounds great. I mean, my watch is a Galaxy 4 or something like that I bought on eBay used, dead cheap, because I buy all my electronics on eBay secondhand. I like to live really dangerously when it comes to used electronics.
That's fair, man.
But yeah, like it's got like kind of a degraded battery already, and I get about a day out of it. It has to get charged every night, otherwise it'll be useless tomorrow.
Yeah. See, this is we're on the tangent now. Like, I'm sticking with it.
Deep into the tangent.
So, like, the big problem I have with having to wear your watch, having to charge your watch every day, is like the whole purpose of having a watch is that its most useful feature is it's on your wrist. So, like, suddenly every day you have to take this thing which performs best when attached to you and attach it to a charger.
See, it works all right for me because I don't want it tracking my sleep. No, thank you. I'm okay with that not happening. I don't need to know how badly I sleep. I already know how badly I sleep. So I just put it on its charger at night and then put it on in the morning. So I don't wear it when I'm in bed.
Ah, fair enough.
It doesn't take that long to charge, which is all right. I do quite like that. The reason I like the Samsung Watch 4 or whatever the hell it's called is because it's small. Like your Garmin watch is pretty big.
Yeah, that's fair. It is a chunk of a watch, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I kind of like a small watch, like compact, light, so it doesn't feel like it's too heavy on my arm or anything like that.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Like, that's a very valid point.
Which is kind of gutting because a lot of the really nice watches are massive. Kind of cut me out of a lot of the smartwatch market.
Yeah, it's like the screen's just keeping bigger and bigger and more features, and like you can now get it's like the new Garmin ones are like turning into like something out of Star Trek now, where it's like you press a button on the side and there's like a light in it that like you can use as a torch on your arm and stuff, and it talks to everything. You can message off it. They're just fucking class, man. I love them.
How far away do you think we are from the watch or the band or like, you know, the ring or whatever that's like basically your key to your house and to like places that you're allowed to get into? You know, like wearable access. So then basically society can then start to exclude people from certain spaces just because they can't access them at all, even more so than it already does. I feel at the moment I feel like the world is just heading towards a horrible dystopian future.
Oh yeah, like it's absolutely heading in the direction of fucking 1984. You know, like it's just happening. There was a guy came out with a quote about this again. Fucking this tangent's going to get worse, by the way. So like, you know, when Trump won
Which time, the first or the second?
this recent time, right?
Yeah.
There was a guy on Reddit and he quoted 1984, and the quote was like, and the party laid down its final command, and it was the most egregious, and it was that the people must not trust what their eyes and ears tell them, and instead take what the party says to be true, or something to that effect. And it's like fuck me running, we are actually living in 1984. Like that is, I've legitimately just watched that entire quote like unfold. It's like wow, but yeah, no, that's pretty gnarly. Fuck, we're gonna have to drag it back, man. We're miles away from where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, totally. We were originally talking about cars.
Yeah, we were. Believe it or not, this is actually an automotive podcast.
Painfully, I don't remember what about cars we were talking about.
Well,
I do remember that I wanted to talk about the Renault 5 concept.
yes.
So I like the way that looks on the outside, but I do feel it's a disappointing that could make a really, really fun, cool, like petrol city car. Like it could have made it a French Yaris GRS. I would be all over that. That'd be so on board.
Yeah, that'd be cool, especially given my new found love of all things Renault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Like the thing is, as well, it's what we were saying before about that in air quotes cyberpunk look, because it's got it, man. It looks
It does, yeah.
gorgeous.
I mean, it's like retro. It's retro styling for sure. It's like we're entering a new era of retrofuturism. You know,
Yeah.
like in the almost like that kind of Jetsons idea, that Jetsons vibe.
Yeah, man. I'm on board with where you're going here. Do continue.
No, that's about as far as I've got that thought.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately.
I'm on board with it though. Like it makes sense what you're saying.
Interesting. I wonder if we're going through culturally quite a nostalgic time.
Yeah, man. I think that's probably not far away because, like, when you look at it, there's quite a big. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to come to fruition, but I mean, you've got this 2030 ban on petrol cars, for example, right? Like, it doesn't surprise me that I say public sentiment, but I don't know if that's really the word I'm looking for. But like, the kind of the tastes of everyone is turning a bit retro because like there's going to be like a bit of introspection over this and looking back at like what we had when like the engine was at its fucking peak, you know?
Interesting. Yeah, I never really looked at it from that perspective, but that is quite interesting. It's almost like, in a way, you could argue that the car manufacturers are kind of looking back to try and help the transition into EVs by like trading on some of that kind of history of the names.
Yeah, and it's a fair shout, like, because like it's really that halo effect again, you know. You know, like we spoke about in the Cars and Media episode, where we were like, you know, Audi had all the adverts at the cinema for superhero films, and it's like all the kids grow up seeing this really cool Audi R8 on the silver screen, and it's like, oh, I'll buy an Audi because then I can have a taste of that. It's like that in reverse.
I'll buy a Ford because I remember that.
Yeah, like that's it. I think that might be what they're kind of going with. It kind of makes sense, like reverse psychology, but in cars and marketing.
Yeah, I can see that. Totally see that. Yeah, so I mean, maybe it's just what we want in a lot of ways. Maybe we want to go back to a more retro time.
Yeah, man. I mean, you have to say like retro is cool, you know.
Quite like some retro styling. Yeah, totally.
Aye. I have to. It does depend on what retro, but retro on the whole is cool, and it sounds very hipsterish to say that, and I fucking hate the fact that that is true.
Are you looking to replace your mountain bike with just a fixie?
Hell no, man! I'm gonna rock the trails on a penny farthing. Honestly, though, that's actually not far from the truth because you know mountain bike wheels keep getting bigger. So like I've got 29ers on mine, but I was online the other day and apparently you can now get 36-inch wheels on a mountain bike.
Wow. Okay.
Like that's almost half of my height.
That's a lot.
That's mental.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. I had no idea about that. Absolutely no idea.
I don't know how I feel about it because the thing is as well, like the bigger the wheel gets, the better it is for bigger riders. Like it's been proven, and it rolls over like shit terrain so much better. Like going over a rock garden in with a 29er compared to like a 26 or a 650B or a 27 and a half even. Like the difference is incredible.
Yeah, I can understand why. Yeah.
Oh, I mean it's just physics, you know. That's what's doing it. But
Does that mean if you could have even bigger wheels, you could have like two genuinely massive ones, like 2 meter diameter wheels?
oh, you're talking like proper penny farthing wheels then.
And like sit in between them, like two penny farthings kind of bolted together without little wheels.
You probably could, man. But I mean, it's like everything. There's going to be a point where you get into the point where your returns diminish. Like it's a failure of energy to expend it doing any more because the returns aren't there. And I kind of get that with 29s. Like 29ers are almost too big because like for a long time, fucking another tangent. Like, but for a long time, like everyone was getting like 29-inch wheels front and back. And then not actually long ago, like mullet became really popular, which is a 29-inch front wheel with a 27 and a half rear.
Is it called mullet because it's a party? Is it the business up front, party in the rear?
That's it. Because
that's pretty grim. I'm really unhappy that that's why it's called mullet.
Yeah, man. It is what it is. It's just it's just mountain biking, man. It's class, but not the best at naming things. Like there's an actual off-piste trail at my local called Scrambled Eggs.
Yeah, okay, fair.
The one down from it, because we're such an imaginative bunch, is called Scrambled Eggs 2. It's like, yeah.
Okay, fair.
But sorry, what I was saying, like my bike with 29s front and rear is like steering a fucking oil tanker down a Shropshire canal. Like it feels big and long and low, and like when you go down to like 27 and a half, like you get that flickability back. It's really light and playful. It's a bit like it's like in cars really.
Totally, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
That was really interesting. I had no idea about that. I'm going to start paying attention to the diameter of mountain bike wheels.
That is such a strange statement to make.
Yeah, I might stop short at measuring them, but I'll pay more attention.
You're going to be rolling down the street, like parked at the fucking traffic lights in your car, and there's just got to be two hubs roll past next to you at like head height. You got to look up, and there's a guy like 7 foot in the air, fucking sitting on a mountain bike frame.
A giant amongst the traffic.
That's it.
Maybe cyclists would get a little bit more respect on the road if they were like riding about the same height as a double decker.
I mean, the height is. It's not out the realms of possibility that would actually work. You know, like might is right on the road. There's a reason. There's a reason Superminis don't argue with fucking Arctics. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing with an Arctic.
No, I'm not either.
I've seen those stopping distances. They're not the best.
No, definitely not. Like, yeah. Oh man. Well, I mean, we've actually done quite a good job here, just despite our.
Well, we didn't even get to my final rant, which is only a short story.
Hit me, man. I want to hear the final rant.
So I almost killed a dog last night whilst driving.
Fucking hell, that got dark quickly.
Yeah, man. Like, I was driving at night. Me and a friend in the car, and I was driving through a crossing, and there was a street light on the, on either end, but like the actual road itself was dark.
Yeah.
And I was on top of the crossing, where out of my peripheral vision, I saw the people at the crossing just going fucking mental, like just like flailing about. And then the next moment, I caught a tiny little dash hound in my headlights, like really close to the wheel, and like I was on top of it. So like I swerved, and thank fuck didn't hit it. Like I don't know if the dog stopped because it like got a fright, with the car coming, but it was just running at my car. It had got off its leash, or it wasn't on a leash. I don't really know the specifics. I didn't get a great deal of time to assess the situation. But yeah, it was like, do you know that feeling where you almost get into an accident? Like I did not want to kill that dog. That would have ruined my evening completely. Like, even though I couldn't do anything about it, like hitting a dog and killing it I'd feel absolutely devastated by that. And it, like, after you almost get into something on the road as well, like you're fucking on edge, like your hands are totally shaking for a while afterwards. You have to like kind of calm down and like just chill out a little bit.
Yeah, man, I get that. Like, I know the sensation you're talking about, and it's fucking minging. It's horrible.
It's horrible, yeah. So, really thankful I didn't hit the dog. Scared the fucking shit out of me, though. Absolutely. Like, it was right there, like a foot away from the car when I saw it, and I was like, I had nowhere to go either, because it's like just, a normal, like, small, single wide street. Like, I can't turn anywhere. God, and yeah, it was a surprise. And it also reminded me of times in the past where, like, I've experienced that similar sensation of like just being really keyed up because of the shock and the adrenaline and stuff like that. Like that time, I don't know if I've told you about it, but that time that a guy tried to kill me on the A9, like,
No.
I maintain that was a legitimate attempt on my life, because I was driving along. The A9 is a dual carriageway. It is a 70 mile per hour road. It has, and very, very poorly designed because it's in Scotland, it has T-junctions and crossings on and off that road. So you're talking about traffic that is crossing 2 lanes of the 70 mile an hour road and also pulling onto and pulling off the 70 mile an hour road. And there's no like slip lanes or anything like that. It's just T-junctions. So it is really, really dangerous, and you do have to be paying attention. But I was driving along, and there was a camper waiting to get, crossed and stuff like that. And they sat and didn't move. And then when I was bearing down on them way closer, all of a sudden the guy starts to slowly pull out and to cross, not to merge, to cross. And I was like, nowhere to fucking go. So I was like full brake, like maximum attack on brake, like hazard lights on because the ABS shat itself brake. And then the other hand was on the horn as well, because even in my, like, kind of surprise, I was still keen on registering my displeasure at what this guy had done. But after it, because like I didn't hit him, thankfully, like I didn't have a massive accident. But after that, I was like, when you have to build yourself back up to speed from heavy braking, and like I was so shaky. Yeah, so I was wondering if you'd had any kind of times like that, someone has made an attempt on your life on the road.
Yes. In short, yeah, man, I've had some sketchy ones. So, admittedly, not in the car though. Like, most of them have been on the bike.
Which is worse because you're even more vulnerable.
Oh yeah, you are swinging out in the wind. If something's going to hit you, you can be pretty sure it's going to be harder than what you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's a lot. I've had a lot of sketch. So one of them was I was going along the bypass, and this guy was like all over the road in front of me. Like he was onto the white line and then he was back, and then he was onto the white line and then he was back, like really desperate to overtake.
Oh man, they terrify me, people like that. People that swerve all about the lane.
Yeah, well, it's like he was so close to the truck in front that he just couldn't see. And it's like all you have to do is like increase the distance between you and whatever you're following, and you'll
Yeah.
see past it perfectly fine, unless you're in a left hooker. But it was a British, sorry, it was UK plates, it was a UK model car, and I could see the guy was sitting on the right hand side. So I know it wasn't a left hooker, it was just poor driving. So I sat quite far back. And anyway, so I was on the bike and I knocked it down 2 cogs and pinned her open because I could see it was clear. And I went across the white line, and then this guy, and I'm doing close to Mach 10 at this point. Like I've went up at least a gear and a half from where I started.
I'm sitting here nodding, man. I know where this is going.
And what happens? Doesn't look in his mirror, doesn't indicate, just fucking swings out in front of me.
Absolutely, man. This is a bugbear of mine on roads as well, is people that just have no concept of closing speeds.
Yes, this is a real thing, and motorbikes especially. This is a real, like, and the thing is, I braked. Now, I grabbed a handful of front brake, the likes of which I have never seen before. I went from near triple figures to below 50 mile an hour very fucking quickly. The back wheel was about a foot off the ground. And the guy, like, suddenly looked, and I can still remember it now because it was like a puppy in the headlights, not to paraphrase off of your story, but like I remember him like looking in the mirror, and it was like one of those comedy like looks, and he shat himself at this headlight that was instantly behind him, then pointed at the floor, and then as the suspension uncompressed and came back up, this headlight just glaring at him. And I was like, fucking dick. And he's like waving at me in between the two front seats and giving me the thumbs up. I'm like, fuck you, you prick. And he pulls in front of this truck, and I just fucking pinned it, man. Like, dropped a gear, pinned it. And as I went past him, I like Supermaned my left hand forward and just obliterated his mirror off. I was like, you fucking wanker, how dare you fucking nearly kill me and then have the audacity to wave at me and give me a thumbs up. I was like, you clearly don't use your mirror, so I'm taking it.
Oh man, it's worse when like someone pulls out in front of you, you slam on the anchors, and then they glare at you in the mirror like you're too close. It's like, yeah, fucking no, I'm too close.
Yeah, I know.
What you're doing?
Like, what goes through their mind? And like that guy, I don't think he'll ever do it again because he had legitimately a 110 mile per hour missile of an armor plated fist go through his fucking side mirror. He must have shat himself. Like, but yeah, that's probably the one that sticks in my mind. There are
I can see why. Definitely see why.
There are other motorbike related stories. There was actually what actually happened to you with a guy on the A9. Well, not quite. So this guy pulled out in front of me, and I was on the bike. It was on the low road actually from Annan to Dumfries, and no, it wasn't. It was on the Solway Coast Road from Dumfries to Dalbeattie. Sorry, it was approaching Cove End. And he pulled out in front of me, and I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just out for a nice easy drive. I'm gonna let it go. So I was following him, and I was just taking my time, and he was away like a shot doing all the straights and then slowing right up in the corners. So I kept making up on him. And there's a bit as you come into Cove End, there's a right hook, and then there's a left hook as you go into the village, right? And this guy's brake lights didn't work. So,
oh yeah, no, that's not great.
no, it wasn't. And he didn't want to indicate either. So, like, I was doing maybe 50, 60 mile an hour. I wasn't pushing on, I was doing the speed limit. And I comes round this corner, and this guy's like, he's approaching me is he fucking revert? Fuck, his brake lights don't work. So I nailed the brakes and like I had my feet down because I was like so concerned that I was going to fucking spin the bike, like trying to get extra stopping power, jamming my boots on the ground. And I was like, what the fuck is he stopped for? And then he turns off. I'm like, you don't have brake lights, you're not using your indicators, and you're driving like a fucking knob end. Like, just why?
Honestly, man, absolutely. Like, genuinely, I don't understand why people pull out. They'll sit at an empty junction for so long, and then at the last possible minute, when it's just dangerous, when it's just got dangerous, they'll pull out. It frustrates me so much. Like, it's that thing we've talked about before, but it's like you have to be on your guard on the road from just the insane things that people are going to do. And now I'm like, I totally forgot. It's not just cars that do insane things. It's people as well. People with no self-preservation. They just walk out in front of the road.
Oh yeah. Do you know, actually, this might actually be of use to you as well. There's a motorcycling trick that I was taught. And strangely enough, I learnt to ride. I knew how to ride, but I'd done all the learning in air quotes to ride for the road standard and then my tests and everything. And I was out with a guy who's really quite a competent motorcyclist. And he's like, why aren't you looking at people when you're going round roundabouts? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, whenever somebody's standing at the side of the road, whenever somebody's waiting at a junction, whenever you're going round a roundabout and there's people queued, he says, don't look at the car, look directly into the person's face. He says, because even though they can't make out your face through your visor and everything, he says, the fact that you're looking into their eyes and they're looking back at you, as soon as you start looking at them, they are automatically like want to look you in the face as well. And it makes people see that you're a human and not a machine. It actually makes people less likely to pull out on you.
Interesting. I could maybe see how the psychology of that works, actually. And it's also like, it's getting them to acknowledge you, isn't it? By like looking directly at them.
That's it. And I started doing it in the car as well. And it has a colossal impact. Like, I actually notice far less people pull out on me in the car when I'm driving like that.
Interesting. I've maybe done that a few times in the past, but at the risk of this becoming another kind of car confession, admittedly I'm slightly reformed in this behaviour. I used to look at people directly in the eyes to identify weakness. People who I would perceive to maybe be like someone that I could pull in front of easily, or, you know, kind of like who would be more willing to stop than I would, if you know what I mean. Back in my more aggressive driving days.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're in the wrong lane, the other lane's queued, so you're scanning the traffic. You're looking for, like, you know, people who are not interested in having a crash, people who are unlikely to road rage out at you sneaking in at the last minute and generally being a wee bit cheeky.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, that's quite funny actually.
And yeah, often you want to be looking directly at people so they can see your serious intent. They can see that you're serious about merging right now, and it's happening. And as I talk about this, I realise this is a really toxic driving behaviour, and I would stress that I am reformed. I've seen the light on that one. It's not the best, and I get really annoyed when folk do that now.
That's really funny. So it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you'd done that to me, I'd be fucking livid. Like, I'd definitely be getting out of the car if somebody just looked me dead in the eyes and was like, fuck you, cunt, I'm pulling out.
Fucking absolutely me too. That's why I'm like, I should maybe stop doing that.
Oh, did I tell you about my new, I might have said this in the last episode, my new way of dealing with people who would otherwise have me raging?
No, I mean, I think maybe you did, but I can't remember it right now. Is it to just smile and wave at them?
It's to smile and wave at them, and if they get really, really, really fucked off at me, blow kisses at them.
Of course, yeah, I remember the kisses now. Yeah, I imagine that's actually a really cathartic way of dealing with that.
Yeah, it's cool.
People get so angry when you're not angry.
Oh, definitely. Aye, man. No, there's a lot more stories I could tell about behaviour on the roads, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if the statute of limitations is up on everything. Like,
yeah. There's some stuff that isn't to be made public.
no, that's very true. That's very true.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we should probably wrap up now. I think that was a nice chat on some stuff. We talked about new car design factually, and then we got distracted and talked about any old stuff that we wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, that any old stuff ranged from what Colin thinks military recruitment and fascism should be through to fucking smartwatches.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the only thing we haven't really done is we haven't bashed Ford STs or Volkswagen Audi Automotive Group.
No. I got a Fiesta ST bash in at the start, so I did. When you were like, yeah, and the Fords killed the Fiesta as well. I was like, that's not really a bad thing, though, is it?
Oh, of course, yeah. It was just quite low key, you know. I was expecting something a bit more vitriolic.
Yeah, I know. I'll ramp it up for next time.
Okay. I suppose I'll maybe contribute to that. Golfs are shit.
I cannot disagree.
Golfs are boring. They might have been interesting at one point, but they're just not anymore.
Yeah, actually, this is a thing that I need to address from the last episode as well, because when we were doing our car lists, and I only had a single hatchback on my list, which was the Megane RS 300.
Yep.
So I know the Focus ST exists, but it's just bland. I know the Golf R exists, and so does the Golf GTI, Gay Transport International.
That's so fucking immature.
It's true though. Yeah, I know they exist as well, but they're a bit obvious, and I'm not interested in all that. I know that Cupras exist, but they are the dad car as far as I can see. Like, everyone that I see has a dad driving it with baby seats everywhere, and like I say, with the Golf, it's a bit too obvious.
Wait, Colin, are you not a dad?
Yeah, but I don't want the dad car though. I want a cool car. I want something that's class.
You want dad in midlife crisis mode car.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. I suppose that's really what every car guy just wants all the time. It's just one perpetual crisis.
One after the other.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so like, I know there's other hatches out there. But literally the only one that interests me is the Megane RS.
I can totally see why. It is really cool.
And also on this note, there's a car that I left off the list, which is absolutely deserving of being on it. The Kia Stinger.
Oh yeah, totally, aye. Totally.
3.3 litre V6, twin turbo, 8-speed auto, which you won't like, but
Nope.
Limited slip diff. You can fit a mountain bike in the back of it actually quite easily. And like that one me and you saw, that was spacious, comfy, and very generously equipped.
It's a nice car. It is a nice car.
So yeah, no, I don't have anything. One final bit of housekeeping based on the revelations in today's recording. I am not a fascist. I need to make that clear.
That's fair. I mean, honestly, neither am I. It could just be a nice end of episode check-in where we just make sure neither of us are fascists.
Yeah, so while my idea of military recruitment practices may have sounded fascist, I am in fact not fascist.
Cool. Yeah, it's good we cover these things.
It is. It's a service, really.
Absolutely.
Well, dude, unless you've got anything to add.
Nope, I am all good.
Well, folks, thank you very much for listening. Please give us a like and a share and a subscribe. Leave us a review, as always. 5 stars or more would be mostly appreciated. And yeah, I mean, get in touch with us as well. Like, we're looking for feedback on these, so absolutely let us know what you think. And yeah, this has been Auto Arcadia. Thank you for listening. I've been Colin Wood, and
I've been Thomas Hope. Bye.
toodaloo.